Oh my God! Holy moly! Wow! He really did!
Are you kidding me? He is not cutting his hair.
I know. Wow, Joe. Wow. Okay. I got it.
What did you do to your hair?
What?
Oh, my hair's gone?
We
No! Hey y'all.
Okay.
Welcome back to our channel.
3.
Oh. Wait, do it different?
What's up, y'all? What's happening? You
Welcome
already know
back
what it
to
is.
our
I'm
channel.
kidding. It's a little something different today.
Yeah. The end of my life, the beginning of his. No, I'm just
basically,
kidding.
at this point. But,
I'm just kidding.
oh. You know, I don't know if y'all can see.
Don't know if y'all can see.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah.
What happened, babe? Explain what's going on right now. Maybe I should interview you. Hi, so right now we're sitting here with what used to be Naughty Headed Lance. He's officially just Lance.
Yeah.
So, Lance, how are you today?
Oh, I'm good. Okay. So what's up? Alright, what's up though? Basically, you know, I don't know, it's been on my heart for a while, to just start over, you know. I've been growing my hair for 5 years or so, you know. And
Very long.
Yeah.
Killing mine. But I'm getting there, y'all. I'm
yeah, no, they was out here. But I've been growing my hair for 5 years, and I'm gonna try to make it short. But basically,
take your time.
Just a lot has happened in the last 5 years. We moved to Arizona. Like, you know, I actually now have a relationship with God. You know, that started like 2.5, like 3 years ago. But recently, I've just had this feeling like, you know, I'm a very stagnant, like, person, you know, like a lot of times I just hang out, chill. I'm very content with doing nothing at all. You know, and it's a problem because I know I should be doing more than I do, and I just don't. And pretty much like after, you know, our good friend Rico passed away, I knew I had to cut him. Like, I just knew it. You know, the last thing he said to me that Sunday was basically, don't be stagnant, and, you know, just keep pushing forward. But I was still very stagnant even after that, you know. And it was just, I just needed to, you know, that's the only me I knew. You know, I was known for my dreads. It wasn't like, I mean, I'm not gonna say people actually didn't know me, but a lot of people knew me because of my dreads, you know. And people need to get to know the other versions of me too. Like, I don't know, I needed to get to the next level, and this was my way of doing it. So basically, what happened was, I just had this feeling of course, cutting my hair, but I wanted to do it differently, you know. So I had started out with the youth. I'm a youth leader. Well, we are youth leaders. And I let all the youth cut off one, and I still had too many. So on Sunday at church, I was just like handing people scissors pretty much, you know. And I wanted to do it that way because to me it's a fun, you know, it's a fun thing to do. Like, not every day do you get to cut somebody's hair. Not
That's
every
true.
day.
They was trying to cut mine. They were like, "Are you next?" I was like, "No."
Not every day do you get to cut somebody's dreads, you know. And to me, like, all those dreads meant to me were, I turned my back against the world pretty much, you know, like I didn't care about my appearance, but they could have meant so much more to me if I used it for the right purpose, you know? So, and I mean, there's a lot of things that went into this, but like a lot of it I don't know how to explain. But so basically from now on, basically, well, right now this is literally the haircut that they gave me. You know, it's probably all,
he's gonna go get a what's her face tomorrow at the
yeah, it's probably all
shop.
crazy. But you know, at the barber, I'm just gonna get a fade. You know, just start real. Not like I'm not going bald though. You know, let me just tell you.
And he's keeping his facial hair,
Yeah,
so thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, I've been working on this for like 3 years, you know, to be honest, and this ain't nothing. So if I cut this, I'm not going, there ain't no going back, cause like, yeah, it's just 3 years and it's barely this long. Come on now. But yeah, so tomorrow I'm just gonna get that fade, you know, but this is so much. But
what's so much your hair?
Yeah, dude, like I just keep looking at myself and feeling it. And yeah, so tomorrow I'm gonna get a fade, you know, go real short. I'm not going bald, but I'm just gonna get a real short fade. And pretty much next weekend, well, first off, Friday's my birthday, August 9th. Woo! You already know. So I was gonna do it on my birthday, but she was supposed to leave. But the way it worked out, she's not leaving out of town now. So, but yeah, so my birthday, and then on Saturday, I'm going to get baptized again. And I'm going to take the vow of the Nazarite. Okay? And, well, hold on. I got my notes on my handy-dandy iPad here. But basically, you know, it's brought up in Numbers chapter 6. Couple people from the Bible have done it. You know, Samson, of course, is probably the most well-known one that was actually like a Nazarite. But also, like John the Baptist and Samuel actually did it as well. But there's 3 main things to it. The first one is abstain from. I mean, a lot of people say abstain from drinking, but I already don't drink. But it's actually abstaining from grapes and raisins. So that means wine as well. And that is pretty much because it's like a
mosquito. I think I killed it.
Wow.
It's pretty much like what?
It's like it's basically meaning to let go of pleasures of this world. For the purpose of knowing eternal pleasure of God. You know, so back in the Bible times, you know, it was always, grapes were known as like fruitfulness, you know, when they went to the promised land, the land of Canaan, to spy or whatever, they brought back grapes. Or also after the flood, you know, the first thing Noah did was planted a vineyard, you know, like it's just fruitfulness. So I'm still working, you know, I still got like a week, you know, to work out the kinks of everything that I want in my vow. But so far with that, just like pleasures of the world, you know, like I actually vape, and I vape a lot, and I'm done, you know, as of next Saturday.
Wait, what? Yeah. How you gonna put an awkward date on it? Next Saturday?
What? I'm getting. Wait, no. Next Saturday I'm getting baptized, and I'm taking this vow.
Okay.
So as of next Saturday, done. Like, I don't care. Done. Never turning back. I'm throwing everything away. Period. Like, basically.
And I'm so proud of him because the difference is obviously he got his relationship with Christ a few years back, like he said. I grew up in church, so I didn't. Oh, okay. I knew it was like a bug or something, like a mosquito. Okay, but anyway, so I Lance didn't really like to pray, and he was like, there's a higher power, but I don't know about God. And he was like into the Illuminati and conspiracy theories.
Huge
I was like, okay, this is not gonna work. And to see God, you know, work in him is such a beautiful thing. I'm so proud of you, babe. And I never thought that he could lead me as my husband because of him not gaining the knowledge of Christ later, way later in life. But if you as a wife are praying for your husband, or vice versa, you guys are unequally yoked, and what that means is not on the same level spiritually, keep praying for your partner, because you can't put God in a box. And now Lance teaches me, so it's such a blessing. And he like, I look for all my guidance spiritually, mentally, everything through him. And it's so cool how God works. He the best, basically.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. And I don't know. It's just awesome. But back to my subject. No, I'm just kidding.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
No, I'm not. I'm just kidding.
That's on the same subject. Because you said...
I know, but I was talking about the vowing part still.
Okay, well...
No, I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's all good.
Well then I just won't say nothing.
No, you can talk. What's up? You need to be, you know...
I'm not saying nothing.
Some light on you, though.
No, I'm just kidding.
Let me just go ahead.
Okay, go, babe. I just wanted to say I was proud of you.
Also, about the
wow.
vineyards, babe, I'm happy you're proud of me, babe. Okay. It means a lot, for real. Okay. But also going about like the vine, or like the grapes and stuff. You know, we're like in the Bible, it's constantly talked about being fruitful, you know, and Jesus talks about us being fruitful disciples, and then he also goes on to say that sometimes like God will prune you, you know, and that's just part of taking care of your vineyard or your fruitfulness, you know. And basically, like, while you're doing this vow, pretty much you're just actively like pruning yourself, and so just like shedding the bad stuff and just trying to fill yourself with God, pretty much. Let's see, the second thing, number 2, is no contact with dead. Okay, when I first heard this, I was like, what in the world? Like, you know, I don't plan on touching nothing dead anyways. You know, I'm a vegetarian. I don't even touch dead meat. Like, meat y'all be eating on, I ain't even touching it, you know, so I'm cool. But then during my studies, I realized, you know, it's a lot deeper than that. It's talking about don't go near anything that looks like darkness or sin, and find comfort in it. You know, so that's heavy, because there's a lot of things that could pertain to. To me, it's more like dead works, you know, and I don't know. So let's see what I got. I said don't find comfort in it, or it's like an uncleanliness, you know, which is spoke a lot about in the Old Testament as well. It's separating yourself from things that are dead works or that can cause death to your spirit, you know. And death also is a form of separation, you know, because clearly, like, if you die, you're not alive anymore. But so separating yourself from things that cause spiritual separation from God, and you know, that to me, you know, can mean a lot of things too, but obviously, like, you know, like in yourself, like stuff you're supposed to do and stuff you're not supposed to do. So it's just sustaining from all of that as well. Like, your main priority and focus is God, you know, and like my main priority and focus during this will just be my relationship with God and how to please Him and honor him, you know. And then I found this quote, you know, during my little study. It said, God's grace empowers us to live life that honors him, not to live empowering us to live compromised lives. I don't know if that made sense, but that's what I wrote. So it might not be word for word, but basically, like, God's grace empowers us to live life to honor him. You know, it's not empowering us to compromise to the world, you know, and that's what this is all about. Like, you know, again, like my dreads meant before, turning my back on the world, but now the foundation of it is Christ, you know. So it's like it's just so powerful. Like, I don't know how to really explain it, you know. Am I doing a good job, babe? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, and then the third thing is do not cut your hair. All right, you know, that one's easy for me. That's the easiest one. I did that for 5 years. But it's still a lot deeper, the meaning, because by you not cutting your hair, again, you're turning your back on the world, but it's also just an outward symbol for the fact of, like, you know, the vow of the Nazarite. Like, that is in the Old Testament how they used to, you know who was like who. Like, if you had locked, like, dreaded, free-form looking dreads, long hair back in the day, like, it was like you were a Nazarite or you were under that vow, you know. And then, like, when you actually do end up cutting your hair, after a certain period of time, however long you set the time, I don't know how long I'm gonna set it. I'm still going, you know, going through it all, but it's probably gonna be a long time. Probably gonna do it for a long time. But once you cut your hair again, you're actually supposed to burn it and offer it as
Wait, we're supposed to burn that?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like, after the vow.
Oh,
so,
okay.
like, yeah, you're supposed to burn it, and, like, it's supposed to be like a sacrifice to God, basically, in a way. But that was just, like, back in the old days, you know. But yeah, so basically that is the vow that I'm going to take. Fun fact, Nazarite in Hebrew is a fast, where it's a fast or a vow where you are focused on separating yourself. Nazarite actually means to separate or consecrate yourself. It's a process of separating yourself in order to be more spiritually fruitful with God, closer to God. Out of this intimacy with God, he is able to bear more fruit in your life. You know, like I said before, John the Baptist, Samuel, and Samson all were part of this as well. And they all were actually born from barren women, which is, I didn't know that. Okay, I just found this out. So the fact that they all were born from barren women, you know, like women who cannot have children, and God gave them children, and then they, you know, were Nazarites, you know, they had this vow on their life because of that. And yeah, I just put barren is the lack of. But so yeah, it's just lack of the worldly things, you know, to get closer to God, pretty much. Separating from certain things in order to be separated to God, basically. And yeah, long story short, that's what I'm doing. And here's the video, probably, of everybody cutting my dreads.